A logbook was found, the final entry describing a storm so terrifying it made grown men cry. But according to every weather station for 100 miles, the sky that day was perfectly clear. There was no storm, and there were no men. They didn't just leave, they were erased. On December 15, 1900, a passing steamer noticed the light on Eileen Moor was dark. For a lighthouse keeper, extinguishing that lamp was the ultimate sin. It took 11 days for a relief ship to reach the island. When Joseph Moore stepped onto the stone landing, he was met with a silence so heavy it felt physical. He climbed the 160 steps to the living quarters. He found the door closed, the kitchen pristine, and the lamps cleaned and refilled, but the men were gone. James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur had vanished from a rock in the middle of the ocean. On the rack in the hallway, only one oilskin remained. This means that in the middle of a freezing December in the North Atlantic, one of the men ran out into the night without it. No sailor would ever do that unless the danger inside the room was worse than the outside. The logbook is where the mystery turns into a nightmare. Marshall wrote of gales the likes of which I have never seen. He recorded that the men were praying and weeping. But we have the official weather records from that week. The sea was calm. There were no gales. Down at the West Landing, investigators found a horror. Iron railings, bolted into solid rock 110 feet above sea level, had been twisted and ripped out like they were made of wire, and a crate of supplies had been smashed to splinters. The last entry, dated December 15th, simply reads, "Storm ended. Sea calm. God is over all." The light went out that night, and the men were never seen again. The official report blames a freak wave, but it fails to explain why the men were crying days before the disappearance, or why they left a warm meal behind to run into a calm night without their coats. To this day, the Flannan Isles remain a place where the records show the truth, but the truth makes no sense. What do you think happened? The facts are documented, but the truth remains elusive. If you enjoyed this dive into the unknown, join us by subscribing to the channel. Until we open the vault again, thanks for watching.